You need to stop taking coffee too seriously. Cheers. We are drinking a spiced maple latte. If you want the syrup recipe for that, you can click the link down below. We'll send weekly tips, tricks, other things to help you make delicious coffee at home, which kind of starts the conversation of people take coffee, I think, a little too seriously. I think there's just coffee culture as a whole is just like, it feels like a pretentious thing sometimes.
Yeah. No, I think I fell into that camp. I think it was, I was like one of the people that were like, everything has to be so dialed in. And then it was kind of like the wave of like smash burgers. You know what's good? It's just a basic cheeseburger. And you go, you're right. And it kind of made you realize everything can just be simple. Everything does not need to be over the top.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's this like
so good
pretentious idea of like, well, you need to make sure that your coffee pH levels are exactly this to get the perfect level of extraction on your pour over. And it's like, yeah, there's levels. There's a lot of things you can do that you can make your coffee taste really good if you're bringing it at home. But I think a lot of people are a little scared if they're like trying to start making coffee at home because they're like, I don't know how to.
Yeah.
This seems crazy to me. Like, this seems excessive, which a lot of times it really is.
Yeah,
excessive.
I'm like all for like a fun ritual. I think sometimes there's like a balance between like, does this make your coffee taste better? Is it needed? Or is it just like part of the ritual?
Yeah.
And it's like, I'll scroll on Instagram and there's like people with like the little like spinny like pucks, and then they have like the little whisk and their espresso and they're doing all this stuff. And when it comes down to it,
spritzing the beans.
Yeah, it's great for content. But I think when it really comes down to it, you're getting like, if it probably does something, it's marginal. Yeah. I think 90% blind taste test. One of the things that we just did was at our coffee shop, we started serving what's like has been deemed rested espresso or cold espresso. And it's literally first person in, pour shots into a bottle. We chill it in an ice bath, like a bucket of ice. And it's what we use for our ice drinks. And you just pour it into an ounce glass and you skip the whole espresso machine and it fast tracks drinks. Blind taste test, we really couldn't tell a difference. And it was like heresy for like, if you're like a hardcore coffee person, you're like, no, that's the wrong way to do it. This is trash. But like, obviously it didn't last like 24 hours. It's not the best, but you're like, our rushes are like for 4 hours and then it's done and it lasts. Yeah. And so I feel like there's like things that you go, you can notice the difference when you see it. But when it's a blind taste test, we were just realizing the amount of stuff that you're like, you know what? And then we bought, I feel like the thing that like blew it away with, I'm too intimidated to make good coffee at home because of the internet, was the machine we bought and that Caleb uses at home is like $100 espresso machine. Yeah, and you look online and you would think you'd have to use the $6,000 La Marzocco. And it's like, you don't.
I mean, do I want that? Because it looks nice and it's cool. It's a lot more. Yeah, but like, I don't have $6,000 laying around. So like, I think once you really start to like learn about it, actually research the practicality of it, like making home espresso and lattes is way more approachable than it seems. Because again, like you're saying, like it'll come up on my Instagram feeds. It's like these very curated, aesthetic, rich coffee espresso rituals. And it's like, if you know, you'll start to look and you're like, that's a $2,000 grinder. Yeah. That's a $6,000 espresso. That's like, this is all these things. It's like, I don't think it looks cool on Instagram, but I don't think this is approachable. So, and I think if you see that a lot, you're like, oh, that's cool for them, but I can't do that.
Yeah. It's like a $10,000 setup and you just go, oh, what's the point? And then you end up just getting coffee at Starbucks every day. I don't know if we can say that brand.
No, you can.
Can we just bleep it? No. No, I think it's like one of those things. There's like anything with anything, cooking, coffee, you get into any type of like craft. There's always like your staples, your foundation.
Yeah.
If you get like a decent grinder, obviously if you spend $10 on a grinder, honestly, like you can get hand grinders.
Yeah. There's some decent hand grinders.
There's some
it's annoying, but
as long as it's like, there's like thresholds where you go, that's where it is the cheapest version of a metal burr grinder. Once you get out of like the plastic, that's like where you start going, man, find the most affordable non-plastic burr grinder and you're already going to see a difference.
Yeah.
And then just get good coffee. Like, honestly,
yeah, that's half of it.
That's the majority. If you start with bad coffee, you're going to get bad espresso. And I feel like a lot of the emphasis is on the espresso maker or machine.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, our single origin Shikizo makes amazing espresso.
Yeah.
No matter what machine you put it through.
Well, yeah. Well, that's like 100%. Because like, if you compare to like my espresso machine at home that costs $100 versus a professional grade, coffee shop grade, La Marzocco, there's obviously a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is a reason these coffee shop machines are $6,000. There is a reason to go to a coffee shop.
Yeah.
But the fact that like the same coffee on those two machines, because it's good quality coffee that tastes good, it's like you kind of have to fight to screw it up.
Yeah.
And make it taste bad. So it's like if you're 80% close, maybe not even 80% close in your technique, like the rest of the 20%, you're not really going to notice, especially if you buy good coffee. I would honestly say like it's probably making good coffee is like 70% good coffee and 30% how you make it.
Yeah.
Like I've not made our coffee with a French press, but I would imagine it wouldn't be that bad because
that's true.
Unbiasedly coffee.
It's just
biasedly.
No, I think it's like, it is one of those things. I think a lot of times when you see those machines, they're so expensive because they're made to make 100 drinks in an hour. So it's like the boiler's huge. It's made to be a workhorse, but it's like, that's where I'm like, I was so skeptical when you made me lattes when we first started, because I was like, there's no way these are going to be good because it's like $100 espresso machine. It's all plastic.
Right.
But I was like, this is better than most coffee shops. And I think some coffee shops, you get a really good machine and the barista's not good, or the coffee's old, or the syrups aren't made fresh, or they're bought. And you just get all these things where it's like, yeah, that's a good machine. But man, if you buy a decent espresso machine, $130, a decent grinder that's going to get the fineness you need.
Yeah.
If you start making your own syrups at home and you just get dialed in, you're going to make better coffee than most coffee shops.
Right.
Because your skill offsets the cheapness of the machine. But I think that's like what's fun is like, it's so easy to make good coffee at home.
Yeah. But I don't think people realize.
I think it's like the intimidation of like, you got to have all the stuff. You don't.
Again, is it going to be as good as a good local coffee shop? Probably not. Like, I'm not going to say that. But I think you can get pretty dang close for a lot cheaper. And sometimes it's like I've almost started going to the mentality of like, I go to coffee shops not necessarily as much for the coffee, but more so for like the vibe, to go hang out with somebody.
The
have a business meeting, the aesthetic. Less, I need coffee. Like, I think if you're going to a coffee shop solely for the purpose of, I need a morning cup of coffee, that's not my vibe. Like, that's not my mentality, because I can make pretty good coffee at home. So I go to coffee shops for the vibe.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm like, you can make some good coffee at home. I think it's just fun. It's fun. Just chill out. It saves you money, but also it just feels good to be like, oh, you get better at something. It's just fun to tinker with it.
And get our friends over and be like, oh yeah, dude, I got you. Let me make an espresso. And your friends are going to be like, dude, this is good. I'm coming to your house every Saturday morning for brunch. And then you can start charging money. They're going to bring their friends. You start charging money. This is all a scheme.
This is all a scheme to start your own coffee shop. This is just so delicious. I'm like, it reminds me of just like a good fall drink.
Yeah. I think there needs to be a little bit of slack of saying, you know what? Make coffee how you like it. Like, I feel like there's a judgmental of like, oh, you're not drinking this anaerobic single origin Ethiopia microlot blend. Like, you're drinking this. You're drinking K-cups. And it's like, I'm not going to say definitively that. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going.
I was like, I was with you until you said K-cup, and I go, I guess that's the extent of like where I'm at.
Well, what I'm trying to say is a K-cup worse than a whole bean single origin microlot local farm organic coffee? Yeah, the single origin third wave coffee is better. But if K-cup's your jam, don't feel pressured into drinking coffee you don't like because someone tells you it's not real coffee. I feel like and I will admit I used to be that way, and I'm like slowly like, you know what? Just drink coffee how you like it. Is there better coffee out there than what you like? And do I want you to taste that? Yes, but I'm not going to be like, oh, you put
coffee shaming.
Like, no, but I really do feel like there's a lot of like coffee shaming.
Yeah.
Like, oh, dude, no. You put creamer in your coffee. Oh, we'll get you to stop. It's like, if you like creamer in your coffee, put creamer in your coffee. It's not that big of a deal.
You like what you like.
You like what you like. And I will say, this might ruffle some feathers. I feel like the people that like judge people for putting creamer in their coffee are also the same ones that drink a pumpkin spice latte. And I'm like, a flavored latte. I love a flavored latte. I also love a good cortado. A flavored latte is really not that much different than putting coffee creamer in your coffee.
No.
So it's like, where's the line? Where's the line of real coffee? What is real coffee? People, everyone has their own idea of like, okay, well, why are you putting milk in your coffee then? You're cutting the coffee. You should just be drinking straight. So it's like, where's the line? You know? Like, where's the line? You put cream in your coffee, I'll do a cortado. Like, is it really that different? Like, so just drink what you like.
I was just not expecting such a hard rant on there.
It kind of ended up that way.
No, I get what you're saying. Like, there is you like what you like. I feel like the creamer, I remember when you first said, like, what's the difference between a latte and putting cream in your coffee? I don't think I was ready for such a thing. I have to unravel in my head of why there's a difference, but there's not.
But it's treated like there is. Like, people get judged for putting cream in their coffee, but then
order a latte.
Vanilla latte is like, okay. It's not any different.
No.
Really. In theory.
I think it's like, I feel like coffee, I love cooking, and I feel like there's so many times that Venn diagram of coffee and cooking connect. And I feel like with anything, it's like, start somewhere.
Yeah, totally.
And then just try something a little better.
Yeah.
You don't need, Wagyu beef.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not your vibe. It's not your vibe. And honestly, I think it's overrated. I think there's some things that you just go, it's popular because it's popular.
Yeah.
I remember there was like, is it Kona coffee from Hawaii? Was like, this is the best. And this was like, that was like an era where it was like, Hawaii has the best coffee. Yeah. And no one knew why. It was just, we were told this is the best coffee.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where it can like fall into this, where I go, this is where I almost go less coffee shaming, more coffee Education.
Yeah.
That sounds like I'm talking down to someone. No,
I don't think
but it's like this is what I always tell people. I'm like, I love our house blend coffee. I think it's what every cup of coffee should taste like.
Yeah.
It's balanced. It tastes like a good version of diner coffee, which sounds weird, but if you drink it, you make a pot of it, order it, do a pour over, brew it in your coffee maker, you'll know what I mean about you're like, it's not too bitter, it's not too chocolatey, not too acidic. It's just the most pinnacle of like, you're like, this should be the standard of a cup of coffee.
Totally. 100%.
With that said, people that drink it, most people go, oh, I don't need cream. Or I found once I order a coffee, I don't need cream. And I think that's like where I go, if you love putting cream in your coffee, do it.
Yeah.
Keep doing it. I know people that put half and half or heavy whipping cream. Yeah. And I'm like, I totally get it. Keep on putting cream in your coffee. Right. Put sugar in your coffee. But it's like, I think almost where I see people stay is I go, what's the reason you're putting it? Because they're like, well, I don't like the taste of it. Okay, well, maybe you should get better. If you're like, don't keep buying K-Cups if you don't like the taste of K-Cups. And if the only way you like the taste of K-Cups is putting half caramel flavoring to your coffee, maybe it's time. It's kind of like the whole mentality of a good steak. You just need salt and pepper.
Yes.
A bad steak, you're going to need some steak sauce. And so find your balance. You like what you like. Make lattes. Like, I love a rich syrup, not a simple syrup. I love more, I would almost say fall lattes. That's the camp I fall into. And not everyone likes those, and that's okay. Yep. But it's like, I love when almost good stuff makes it even simpler. Like the homemade syrups. I'm like, it's so much easier to make homemade syrups than to go out and buy syrups.
Yeah.
And it just makes your coffee taste better. But start with good coffee, go from there.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think there's like this like almost pretentiousness of like, it needs to be
like, I drink my coffee black.
Who cares? You like a French press?
Do a French press.
But
again, like you're saying, if you like French press, cool. But if you've never tried a pour over, maybe you should like try that. Like stretch yourself and see, because I think like 10 years ago, French press was kind of like, oh, this is the way to make coffee.
Gold standard.
And I think a lot of people stayed there, never tried a pour over.
Mm-hmm.
And if you try a pour over and you're like, not my thing, cool. But don't be afraid to expand your realm, try new things, venture out. About your like point of coffee education, I think you really start to realize, like, out of our circle, obviously, but just the general public, like, you have to understand their coffee language. Like, you watching your coffee language and understanding is probably different from people who run a coffee roaster. Like, a lot of people, they'll see our boxes of coffee and be like, how'd you get the berry and citrus flavor onto your coffee? And it's like, oh, like you don't want to shame them, you want to educate them. Like, oh, you're thinking Maxwell House. Like, a lot of people think that's what coffee tastes like. They don't realize that, different origins and countries, regions in the country, coffee processes. I mean, there's a lot of things that make coffees naturally have different taste notes. Like, I remember even like giving someone who had never tried like a third wave style of coffee, our house blend, and they were like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know coffee could taste, because they'd never tried it. That's not what they were used to. They hadn't like learned about that. They didn't know that coffee could taste like that. So we had like a coffee about a while back, and it was just nicknamed the Blueberry Bomb, and it just had like such a strong blueberry taste. And you tell people that, and they just go, "Oh, you coated in blueberry."
Wait, you coated? Yeah, you just like you're like, wait, coffee and blueberry, and that's like almost where it's like, it's great to get outside of your normal, buy a good tier coffee is you start realizing, oh, it tastes like bitter black coffee because it's old. It's been just stale, ground up in a bag. Our coffee is going to taste bad if you grind it up and leave it on a shelf for like 9 months.
Right.
So it's like you lose all that, but it's like you realize you're like, oh, coffee has so much more of a smooth taste. It's way less bitter. It's not like this harsh dirt taste. Right. And you kind of get this blueberry. And I remember one person going like, oh, this is more like tea. Like it reminded them more of like, it was so counterculture to like what they've had in the past from like just diner coffee. Yeah. So I'm like, that's where I'm like, just step outside, try like a nice coffee. I feel like we fought to keep our coffee so cheap. Like I am still blown away with how expensive coffee has gotten, but
it's getting pricey.
Try it out, make it in a French press, and then try a pour over, and then try like, there's so many, try cold brew with it. There's so many different ways to brew coffee. And it just like, sometimes you realize you're like, that's why I hated about coffee.
Yeah.
Is just how you were brewing it.
No, 100%.
100%.
And again, if you try all those things and you're like, nah, I'm good with K-Cups and coffee mate creamer. Yeah, that's fine.
Do it.
Like there's no shame in that. Like just drink coffee. Try new things, but drink what you like.
This is a whole nother tangent. But I just go, this is where I go. You go, if it tastes good, do it. And I, for the longest time, if you told me a year ago, oh, I put coffee in the freezer, I would have been like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But now they're going, like someone does a blind taste test and they win a award using it. And it's like, oh, we just put our coffee in the freezer and it lasts forever, indefinitely, or like months. Yeah. And that's where I just go, it feels like sometimes it's like something isn't cool until someone tells you it's cool. So it's like, just don't listen to them. Don't wait for the next influencer to be like, put your coffee in the freezer. Just put your coffee in the freezer. I don't know.
It's not that serious.
It's not that serious.
It's just, at the end, it's just coffee.
Yeah.
I think there's ways for your coffee to be delicious, and it should be delicious, and it's an amazing thing in my life that I love. And I want it to be as good as I can make it. But it's just coffee. It's not that serious. It's just a random little bean in water. That's all it is.
Just like we're a coffee roaster. We're like, it's not that big of a deal. We do it because we love coffee.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, at the end of the day, like, it is just coffee, but it's also not at the same time. It's like, I love coffee and I want to drink the best coffee that I can find. And there are other people that do too, but at the end of the day, it is just coffee. But it also makes my day better when I have a good cup of coffee.
So if you want good coffee or fun recipes, click the link below.
I'm going to help you make delicious coffee at home.
It's going to be.
You can do it.
You can do it. Now, I'm like, I just keep going back to like how cheap our coffee is and then like how good it is. The amount of coffee I've had from other roasters. This is like
$24.
$24. I go, this is what I pay $24 for. Yeah. I get why people don't want to buy expensive coffee.
I know.
It's honestly not, majority of it's not that good.
And I feel like it's so hard to like navigate and dissect like, okay, my city has 8 different micro roasters and each roaster has 10 different origins and blends. How do you know what's going to be good? How do you know it's not going to be good? Like, and you can spend a lot of money discovering that. So, and yeah, it can be very complex and confusing to like find good coffee.
Yeah. I'm like, it's just ridiculous. I always think it's like, oh, we're good. We're a good roaster. And then I try, and then you just go through a slew of it and you're like, holy crap. I keep going back. I'm like, our Shikizo house blend. Guatemala's good. Not huge. Not my vibe. It's a lot of people's vibes.
People love it, and it's their vibe.
Very chocolatey.
So again,
earthy.
That's where you go. If you like a chocolatey, earthy note coffee, great. We have our Guatemala. It's perfect for you. Like Eileen some people lean a bit more like strawberry, blueberry bomb. I like those. I'm more of like a peachy, stone fruit, citrusy coffee guy. So, and again, like I was saying, even navigating that of like, okay, how do you figure out what kinds of coffee you like, what regions and origins you prefer that tend to have coffees you like. But then it gets hard because, like, for the longest time, people are like, oh, Colombia coffees are always kind of gross. They're a little like darker, dirtier, muddier, not great. And then in the past couple of years, I've had some really good Colombian coffees, like citrusy, stone fruity, like super bright tea-like coffees. And you go, literally the whole world will look at a Colombia coffee. That's kind of like the Kona coffee. Like, oh, Colombia's the darker, like,
it's going to be earthier
note.
Yeah.
And then these like farmers make an amazing product and it changes the narrative and confuses people. Because if I didn't try our Colombia, which you don't have anymore, sadly.
Our decaf is Colombia, right?
But our like
the
Mary Lou's.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so good. It's been a couple years. It's just not been back in season.
No.
Or something. But it was our favorite coffee. And it was not, if I would have never gotten that in a coffee shop. Because I'm like, I don't like Colombians. I like Ethiopians. Then I had that. I'm like, this is way better than any Ethiopian I've had.
I feel like the same is like with our decaf. I'm like, a decaf just sucks. That's just what the stigma is. Decaf just tastes weird. It's not good. Our decaf, like we have coffee shops that just buy our decaf because they're like, well, we roast our own, but your decaf is so much better. We're going to switch that out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I don't know. You just try coffee. Try some good coffee.
Try it all.
This week.
Go to your local shop. Just try it all. Just try everything. Well, thanks for watching and listening. If you're still here, we really do appreciate you listening to two random guys talk about coffee. We'll see you next time. In the meantime, make good coffee at home. Sign up for the Home Coffee Handbook. We're going to send you amazing tips, tricks, recipes, everything you need to make delicious coffee at home. Drink good coffee. Enjoy.
Link below.